Wrong X, back in a video. Hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and it would also be appreciated if you share the video to a friend like this, or just anime content in general. With that being said, I do have a second channel in which I do post certain what if topics, as well as mostly discussion videos though, so, well, hop on there and check it out. Please support the affiliate links down below, and we can now get into the recap. With that being said, we basically ended off with Gaara actually kind of becoming good, just like he had in canon. But with that being said, the Leaf is much stronger. Coming out of the, I guess you could say, in a way, the plan to eradicate the Leaf Village, or Orochimaru's plan that is, the Leaf is just much stronger overall, and they have, like, a lot more power in general, due to the fact that Hiruzen is still alive. And in pretty good condition. Like, he's not, like, on the verge of death, basically, in the hospital chilling. Nah, he's, like, basically 100% for an old Hiruzen, as 100% as an old 60-plus man can be. With that being said, yeah. Now, Naruto at this point would go on a mission of his own will, something that he wanted to do for a very long time, solo. A mission he wanted to take solo. Hiruzen had no objections to this. Naruto was strong enough to definitely go on a mission that is only a B rank with ease, and maybe even an A or S rank if he's pushing it. With that being said, Naruto would travel to a place that was known as one word, Mount. But the people who lived here called it a certain name, Mount Onoki. Within, well, I guess you could say the mountain, since I'd assume you guys know that I mean a mountain when I say mount. There is a huge, gigantic hole. Within this hole is where the people live, and, well, they do things within that hole. It's such a massive hole where a whole town is, and, frankly, a whole individual village, you could even say. With that being said, it's known as Mount Onoki because it is stated that a young Onoki had actually destroyed this said mountain. This isn't actually a thing in the Naruto canon. I just decided to come up with this on the top of my head, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you won't, or you shouldn't at least find anything regarding this topic. With that being said, Naruto would travel here to fight. He knew that their ninja were very powerful and were, well, hailed as the strongest who weren't, like, affiliated with, you know, the great 5 nations, or the 5 great nations, whatever you want to call them. Or even the 5 great powers, the leaf, the stone, the cloud, the mist. I think you guys get my point. With that being said, and of course the sand, with that being said, we would see Naruto fight these ninja. But upon his arrival, he was actually seen as an enemy. He was seen as somebody who was trying to provoke war. And the usually calm and, well, you could even say peaceful village was now agitated. It had seemed that Naruto was outnumbered. Rather than their ninja just being skilled, their whole village was skilled. Even those who didn't have great chakra control, if any at all, were able to wield weapons as if they had mastered them their whole lives, as if they had been swordsmen throughout their lives. With that being said, Naruto would rush out of the village as he would be stopped by a farmer who, well, for some odd reason, was carrying a farming-like tool which would then turn into a scythe. This farmer would then try to slice Naruto as Naruto would dodge, but behind him stood a man, much taller than he. He would then look this man in the eyes, as the man would look at Naruto, realizing that Naruto was not weak-willed. He was not some newbie who came to the village for, well, you know, to prove themselves. But with that being said, this ninja did not know what Naruto was there for. And in a way, Naruto himself was actually kind of there to prove himself. To, I guess you could say, reassure himself that he was powerful without the need for the Susano. That, well, he would never need the Susano in actuality, because within him lurked another monster. A monster just as ferocious as his own Susano. Its name was Kurama, the Kyuubi within Naruto. Sorry I had to do a little sniffle, I don't know. Something about the winter and, well, I guess you could say the holiday season gets my sinuses a bit rousy, so to speak. With that being said, back to the story. Naruto would then watch as this man would unsheath his blade, as he would quickly dodge both the farmer in front of him and the man behind him, as both the farmer and the man would clash. Naruto would note that, well, their strength seemed to be even, as the farmer was able to keep up with the man, and his scythe didn't break either. It also looked as if the man was applying most of his force, but it looked like a controlled energy, not something that, like, somebody like, for instance, Sasuke would use or would send flying towards Naruto, right? Something that had a, well, to be honest, great structure. It was positioned in a very way that felt unique, powerful, skilled. Naruto noted all of these things about this man. This man who seemed to be some sort of samurai, some sort of, well, swordsman. With that being said, Naruto would continue the rush out of the village, but little did he know, basically once you get in, you can not get out. It's almost like a fortress, but like I said, once you get in, you can't get out. So a fortress with impenetrable walls, but also a maze within it, if that makes sense. With that being said, Naruto would encounter many strong foes, until he eventually got lost. You see, only the people who actually live on Mount Oniki, which is what I'm going to refer to it as for the rest of the video, if I bring it up again in the video, the people that live there know the place. You know, they've grown up on it. They have many maps that are taught generation to generation, and it's just that kind of thing. I don't really want to say generation to generation, as only one full generation has lived here, but I think you guys get my point. Each generation, they will teach, the kids will be taught these maps. They will know, you know, where to go for food. They will know where to go to fight. They will know where to go to train. They will know where to go to become ninja. They will know where to go to plant. You get the point. They know their directions, so to speak, and they know where everything is in the village. But somebody who's a foreigner like Naruto would never even have the slightest of, well, you could even say, ability to comprehend the structure and foundation of the village. With that being said, Naruto had found himself in the worst possible position. The person who governed the land was in front of him, a man who, well, dwarfed Naruto, but not in height, because this Naruto is about, we'll say 5'9". With that being said, this man did dwarf Naruto in something, and Naruto could clearly feel it. His aura was so powerful. A monkey-like man, or maybe even a Kermit of sorts. Somebody who spent their entire lives training is what Naruto thought to himself, to match him. Such a, well, interesting man. This man had a beard and wore interesting clothing, resembling somebody from the Stone Village, Naruto thought. But who could this be? Who could this ninja be? Naruto would then grab his stomach as he felt hungry, but he wasn't truly hungry. You see, Naruto had been eating some onigiri before he came. If you don't know what onigiri is, it's just some rice balls, just plain old rice balls, and they really filled him up, so he wasn't actually hungry. Rather, it was the Nine Tails trying to get his attention, but Naruto in the heat of the moment could not speak to the Nine Tails, due to the fact that this man in front of him was actually the fourth Tails. Or should I say four Tails Jinchuriki, Roshi, who had the being within him, Son Goku. That's why I said like a monkey-like presence, not because Son Goku is in any way a monkey, but kind of like his Jinchuriki is kind of a monkey, slash a gorilla, whatever you want to call it, and also because, well, in the famous show Dragon Ball Z, the character Goku is a Saiyan, and another character of the show refers to him as a monkey. Due to their tail-like features. And, well, Son Goku is just a monkey in general, technically speaking. With that being said, this man would then use his lava like a Genkai. If you did not know, we'll refer to him as Roshi from now on, as Roshi is actually the person who has the four tails. Roshi actually has the ability to kind of, like, create lava, and it's a very deadly technique. With that being said, he would gather lava on his fist, as Naruto would feel the heat in front of him. Naruto would stare Roshi dead in the eyes as Roshi would ask what Naruto's business was in the village. As multiple people started to rush towards Naruto from behind him, Roshi would then move his arm so quick that Naruto wasn't able to catch up with it, even with his advanced sight. Due to the fact that, well, in a way he has a, you could say, built-in Sharingan. He doesn't actually have a Sharingan, but at the same time his senses are heightened and things of the sort, as he technically is like a brother clan to the Uchiha. With that being said, Naruto wouldn't be able to trace this movement, as around him lava would be everywhere, but the townspeople would then stop. They would laugh it off. Oh, Roshi's got them, or him. But if there's two of them, well then, they'll both be dead. You see, they said them because they felt two presences. All the people from this village, might I add, are very skilled with sensing. Well, yeah. With that being said, most of the people here are actually former rogue ninja from the Stone Village, as that's where Roshi's from. And funny enough, I've been able to tie this all up in a knot, so to speak. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but basically, Onaki is from the Stone Village. The Hidden Stone Village is Rogue Ninja all come to this place. Roshi is the Four Tails, who belongs to the Stone Village technically, but fled the village. And he is the Kage of this village of Rogue Ninjas. I think I kind of tied the knot on that one and brought everything full circle, so to speak. With that being said, to everybody else, they had thought that Naruto would be dead, so they would just go back to what they were doing, getting out of the sight of Roshi, as Roshi would continue to, I guess you could say, increase the size of his lava ball, so to speak. With that being said, Naruto would wonder what Roshi was doing, and he knew that if, well, he didn't get help now, then he could, well, quite frankly, die very, very soon, before any of his goals were accomplished. And at this point, Naruto has a vague outline of his goals. Not necessarily to become Hokage, though he does have that in the back of his head. Rather to protect his village, and becoming Hokage is just the easiest way to do that. To, well, be the face of the people. To give his people hope. To make them feel loved. Because, well, to be quite frank, he was not loved. With that being said, we would then see Roshi speak to Naruto. That thing inside of you, how long has it been there? Naruto would look at Roshi with a surprise. You mean my Susano? Naruto would then wonder, how did he know? How did he know that he had a Susano? Of course, this wasn't actually Naruto's Susano that he was talking about, rather, the Nine Tails. You see, the Susano listens to orders, especially if they're commanded heavily, like when Naruto told him to never come out again. So right now he's just resting, gathering chakra from around him, as rather it was the Kyuubi. Naruto didn't know of the Kyuubi, as Roshi would then look at Naruto confused. Susano? I've never heard of that, but I'm talking about your tailed beast, boy from the leaf. Oh, him. It seems to me like you are not on good terms with your Biju. You're right. We don't always get along, and, well, I had a power. A power? Explain to me. I don't have to tell you anything. We're not even from the same village. Well, I don't even have to spare your life, don't you think? I could easily escape. Before Naruto finished his sentence, he would rather not say it. He could easily escape, but how? Was he, well, mentally dumb, stupid even? Not to be rude to anybody who may have a disability, of course. Of course. But with that being said, he thought to himself, he doesn't have a way to escape lava being surrounded by him. At any moment, Roshi upon will could, well, kill him. Wash away his dreams, burn him even to ash, erase him from history as he knows it. Of course, the tail beast inside of him wouldn't truly die, because, well, it would be reborn over thousands of years, you could say. And it would be restored to its former form and glory. But either way, with that being said, Naruto would reply, there's this special ability I have known as the Susano. It is an ability, or I should say guardian, that protects me. Where is that guardian now? Because, quite frankly, or should I say, it's not here, if you will. At least I can't see it. Well, let me explain. The other day I ran across a ninja who was quite formidable. But the Susano was going to protect me by killing that ninja, and I didn't want it to. So I told it to never come out again. A power within you that you've told to never come out of you again, that is so powerful that it can stop your enemies. Who did it stop? I want to gauge the power of this ability. Momochi Zabuza, an acquaintance of mine. Momochi Zabuza? It's been years since I've heard that name. They say he fled his village in search for a group of people to then bring liberation to the mist. Well, how did that encounter go? He was strong, very strong, but I managed to defeat him. Of course, in actuality, Naruto was able to easily defeat Zabuza. I shouldn't say easy, but you get what I mean. It wasn't like a high difficulty situation, but still it was something. With that being said, Roshi would nod his head. Well then, why are you here? What brings you to a village such as this? Are you here to gather information on my village? Because if so, I might just have to end your life either way. But I kind of feel like that is not your purpose here. It does not seem like your village's agenda. No, I'm here on my own accord. The mission details were that I was to, well, figure out an anomaly. People reported something strange about this mountain. People reported something strange. Go on. Boy. Actually, before you continue, may I know your name? It's Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki for you. Just call me Naruto. Alright, Naruto, go on. Well, there was something strange. People reported massive amounts of smoke coming from the top of this mountain, almost as if there was a volcano here. But, rather, I think I know the reason for that. This ability right here. At first, when you activated it, it became hard for me to breathe. Very hard, in fact. Even now, I can barely breathe and had to clear my air pipes with that, well, cough, we'll say. Really? It's that hard for you? Most of the people who, well, live here are perfectly fine with it. I see, so they've adapted. Humans adapt in most situations like this, I assume. Well, the humans here are not normal. They are ninja who are used to the battlefield. Rogue ninja who abandoned their Kage. Oniki made this place, and now I run it. How ironic. I see. Though, I must add this. The children here are not adept for war. Of course, multiple ninjas started to, well, have children, and these children are not ready for the pollution that sits within the air. With that being said, we have started to expand, and I use my lava to create land masses. You see, a core element in lava is rock. I create, or I should say I can create, land from nothing. As long as I use my abilities in interesting and unique ways, it is pretty easy to do. I just, well, use my ability, Naruto. Uzumaki. Wait, that name. I'm a decently old man, and even I remember the tales of a Jonin, a rising Jonin at that, who fell in love with the Kage of the village long ago. The village hidden in the leaves, that is. Her name, I can't wrap my finger around it. Come on. Hey, Son Goku. Remind me, what was that, well, promising Jonin from the Leaf Village's name? Her name was Kushina. She used to have the 9 tails. And her name also was, well, Uzumaki. Is that what you wanted? Yes, thank you. Well, I am getting a little old. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, Naruto. I think she may very well have been your mother. Mother? Naruto thought to himself. Naruto would fall on his knees. He would then look up at Orochi, or I shouldn't say Orochimaru, but to Naruto it looked like Orochimaru. Somebody who was unfamiliar, unnatural, and even unusual. Somebody who you wouldn't meet in your normal travels. That's why it felt like he was looking at Orochimaru. So that's why I said he looked up at Orochimaru. Naruto would then squint his eyes as he saw the true nature of Roshi. Was this truly somebody who had a beast such as the one within him? Within him? Maybe that didn't make sense to you, but basically he's saying, is this truly somebody who also has a Biju, or somebody who is also a Jinchuriki? Roshi would laugh, continuing, Tell me, Naruto, how old are you? No, how long have you been with your Biju? You're so carefree. Naruto would then stand up on his two legs, or I should say legs in general. With that being said, he would look at Orochi. You laugh too much. I don't like it. You are too serious, Naruto. Ease up. I don't like it one bit. Naruto would then pull his fist back as Roshi, my bad, I don't know what happened there, would squint his eyes as Naruto would stop, immediately deciding to use his left fist instead of his right. He would then punch Roshi up as a massive earthquake-like sound, which I had kind of made, would erupt in the area. Everybody in the village would hear this as Roshi would be sent flying out of his own massive ball of lava. Naruto would then tell Roshi that he doesn't like his carefreeness and that he's not there just to, well, talk. It's great that, well, he's found somebody who may be related to him, but don't ever speak of somebody who could be his mother. His mother died a long time ago, and he's never even seen her, nor heard of her before. So don't act like you've known her, or don't act like you've even heard her name. Naruto would look at Roshi, who was now on the floor, back to the ground, with his knees kind of up. So, for example, kind of like the position you'd be in if you were doing sit-ups, just to give you guys a vivid image in your head. Roshi would then stand up, cracking his neck. You don't believe me, kiddo? Don't call me that. Now, wind style. Divine wind bullet. Naruto would then gather an abundant amount of chakra as he would do I guess you could say sound like this. Now, wind bullet, Naruto would say in his head. These bullets would fire. I don't know if that was a good sound, but that is kind of how these bullets would sound. With that being said, they would all then hit Roshi, as Roshi would try to protect himself with fire, but unfortunately for him, it would actually just create an explosion due to the fact that wind and fire, when mixing, create an explosion, like, I guess you could say, element. Roshi would then stand up as he would look at Naruto, telling Naruto that he doesn't even have to use 50% of his power. Naruto is a mere rodent in his path. Naruto would then watch as he was then surrounded with lava. This lava would attach to all places over his body, as Naruto would be swarmed with it. He would then start to burn. Unimaginable pain would be caused to his body. An inferno-like heat would fill it. Or I shouldn't say fill it, but rather touch it. Roshi would tell Naruto, if you very well cannot control your Kekkei Genkai, or whatever that Susano power may be, well, then I'll teach you to control the Nine Tails. But first, we need to get rid of that stupidly strong will of yours. You think you can break my will, Naruto would say. After this day, Naruto would be reported missing. A mission that should have taken only 3 days had now been up to 16 days. Hiruzen was worried, but had his hope in for Naruto. Naruto couldn't have been, well, dead. Could he? Hiruzen thought. No way. With that being said, At this point, Roshi had thrown Naruto off of Mount Oniki about 16,000 times. With that being said, Roshi would eventually pummel Naruto to the ground, knocking him out, as he would take him to a distant village, a village where only bandits were. Bandits actually made up the whole village, as there was about 100,000 in number. Roshi would propose them this one thing. 1 billion Rio for them all. Rio is at least their currency in the Naruto Storm game, so I'm going to assume it's their currency here too. Also, the coin is reminiscent of the coin in Naruto, so their coin is called Rio, and we have proof for that. With that being said, he would offer 1 billion Rio for them all, and that is a lot. Now, with that being said, they would all accept. Of course, Roshi was not actually being serious, but he would also give them a task. Even if they can beat Naruto, if they cannot break his will, then they do not get a single dime. The bandits would all accept, as Roshi would tell them that he is a man of their word. At least one of them will get the money that he speaks of, the one who can break Naruto's will the most. They would then see it as a competition of sorts now, as they would start to one by one beat on Naruto, who would be, well, unable to do anything. The QB watched Naruto's body fly around as he himself was getting hurt a little, but it felt like nothing. These were mere bandits hitting a bag of flesh, you could say. With that being said, eventually they would torture Naruto. I shouldn't say torture, rather they would hit him every day. Give him small bits of food, which would leave him malnourished. His will truly was being defeated. No, his will truly was being destroyed. And with that being said, this is where I'm going to end off the part. Make sure to check out the affiliate links down below. This has been Working Hard to the Susano Part 3 and Rami X. Out.